The last pub standing, in name and in history. What used to be King's on King Street in Norwich was the final pub on the road to close its doors 3 years ago. But now Darren Fenner, a caterer for the last 30 years, has taken it on and is hoping to give it and the area a new lease of life by celebrating its past.
There's a few hundred years worth of history here, and we're finding lots of it as we move things around. But yeah, that's all part of the character, and we're using that history and the character of the building to integrate it into what we're about to start doing. You know, the world moves on, but there is still a little market for the history. You go down the other end of King Street and you've got Dragon Hall and places like that, which kind of are starting to look a bit out of place in the modern world. So I think keeping it, the tradition going, the traditional old-fashioned kind of pub is here, and it just fits in with the character of Norwich as well.
The whole refurbishment is expected to cost £100,000. Downstairs will be the main bar area, with a restaurant upstairs serving a modern cuisine which Darren and his colleagues are keeping secret. It's all going to be themed around the building's history, though, taking it back to its 17th century look and feel by exposing the original beams and restoring fireplaces. Though, due to building restrictions, some features they've discovered, like this one-time alleyway behind the bar, will have to stay hidden.
We've done a lot of research about the building, its previous owners, its previous tenants, and the names it's gone through, the changes, and where it featured on King Street, the history of the building. It used to be 2 houses and it was knocked into one. Then it was called a pub.
Back then it was called the Nag's Head and was surrounded by pubs all along King Street. Most, like the former Builders Arms on the corner of Rose Lane, have become shops, while further down the road the derelict Ferryboat Inn is now planned to be turned into apartments. Darren's taking his research into the pub's history very seriously. He's even had paranormal investigators in to seek the views of landlords long lost.
Yeah, they came in and we spent an evening, my business partner and myself, with a group of investigators, and we spoke to some long lost people. They seem to be quite happy with what we're doing with the pub. They're supporting us, they're not bad spirits, so we will see. One of them we are featuring in some of our ideas, but you know, you'll have to see what we do with that one at a later date.
So, approval allegedly from beyond, but not quite yet from Norwich City Council. Some of the work, like painting, has had to pause for planning permission. It's hoped the last pub standing will open in October though, but for now, encouraged by local interest, Darren shared the story of King Street on the front of the building, ready to open the door on its next chapter. Lauren Du Bois, Mustard TV, Norwich.